What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. Whew. I hope everybody gonna have a nice 4th of July, because I'm recording this before 4th of July, so I hope everyone's gonna have a nice 4th of July. Whew. This heat will have you feeling like this. The heat will have you feeling like this for sure. So I hope everybody is doing well, swell, thriving, and surviving. Y'all in here y'all just gonna have to watch me do some work at the same time. I'm sorry. So outside of that, I hope everybody, like I think I just said, everybody doing well, swell, thriving, surviving, all that good jazz. So permission to obtain an order of your prescription to verify future orders. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so yeah, I hope y'all doing well, swell, thriving, and surviving. The reason why I look like I was straining, like I was trying to pass a kidney stone, is because my glasses are broken. And the other night, when I decided to take out my contacts to go to sleep, one went into the contact container, but the other one decided it wanted to jump ship. And I looked for a good 20 minutes. I just said, fuck it, it is what it is. I'm just going to buy some more. I don't want to, but I'm just going to buy some more. So that's what I'm doing right now. Outside of that, I'm not, what? You tripping. Don't even need that many. Okay, so outside of that, that's about it for me. This heat. And my child is terrorizing. I don't know if he's terrorizing me or he's just doing shit to get on my nerves. But he is this close to going to the shelter. I don't mean no harm. Hopefully he hears those words and it's like a scared straight program for him and he gets it together. Because until then, my ruler, I'm in that type of mood with him. You won't believe some of the shit he does. But that's another talk for another day. Go ahead, get your water. I don't know where my water is. Get your wine. Get whatever it is that you're getting. See, I'm so irritated. Get your water. Get your wine. Get whatever it is that you sipping on. Get it. And bring it close. Now, I know y'all looking at that thumbnail. And y'all is like, what in the Stranger Things is Mr. Real talking about? Like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, you get it. You know what I'm saying? You get the analogy of it all. But I'm pretty sure you're like, yo, like what is going, why is my contacts $100 a box? One eye costs $100. The other one costs $100. Where's my insurance card? Because I'm not about to do this today. I'm not about to do this today. I'm not about to do this today. But anyway. Anyway. So, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is you get. Maybe I should just go and get my water and maybe I'll feel better. I don't know. But we're going to get through this first because I'm determined. Speaking of determined. This tea talk, I think it's a tea talk that has what's worse than long overdue. It should have been there in the first place, but we have to learn in order to know, just like we have to learn in order to grow, right? So this tea talk kind of goes into that tea talk that I had in the past about we read a book about pretty much what we should give our efforts to, or our fucks rather. And sometimes, you know, it's just easier not to give a fuck when you're not offended, right? A lot of times we go through so much stuff that we become unfazed. It's really hard to get to us because the times that we did have people that close to us and we were taking time bombs, like we were more emotional and devastated than we were physically wanting to retaliate. And that's totally understandable when things catch you off guard. Now, when you get to a point you do understand the matter and you do understand how to compartmentalize things, such as whatever it is that we're going to talk about further down the road in this conversation, it'll be able to help you understand the checks and balances of keeping your energy clean, keeping your vibration high, keeping your energy in mind at all times. No matter what you do, you want to make sure it's good for your energy, right? Because if it's good for your energy, it's good for your self-esteem, it's nourishing just to the whole body, immune system wise. Because remember, if we don't take care of ourselves, what happens? We get sick, right? If we don't take those days off from work that we are granted, and we don't try to relax for at least half of one of those days, what happens? Our body starts to slowly but surely give us signs that if you don't take care of me soon, something's going to break down. All right? You think you got 6 cylinders. Well, wait till you see what happens when you're only on 2. You know, our body does that to us. So it's not as if like our body is not paying attention to us. We're not paying attention to it. And a lot of times what we decide to take on from other people or people around us, or just like things that we think we have inherited, you know, we get to a point where we don't understand the placement for it. We don't understand the reason. There's no logic, and it's a struggle for it to even be something that you have to readjust to, because you just don't know where to place it. All right, so this tea talk is going to be more or less about what you can use so that way you can learn to grow, right? Like compost, learn to grow. Or you need to put it in a compartment, and it needs to be something somewhere on your list of whatever you do for you. It needs to be a priority, right? A lot of times I did videos on this in the past, especially like when I first started this channel, about how to protect your energy and be able to soar and fly light, right? So we had to, you know, understand our, like, the more baggage we take on, the heavier it's going to be for you to be able to, you know, afford that ticket to be able to board onto whatever next destination, trial, chapter, season in life is destined for you. So now we have to really put in mind, though, a lot of times we have friends, we all have people around us that have some type of dilemma happening, right? And sometimes I feel like when people like dump and unload all that stuff onto you, some of it is just to really see what type of feedback they can get. So we don't know if they've already made their mind on what they want to do. We don't know if they're just using this dilemma to be the center of attention or to be the most dramatic, but they're bringing it to your door. You know what I'm saying? The moment they open their mouth and they start speaking, you start listening, that's your front door. And this is where a lot of emotions get confused. You know, we're going to talk about emotional incest on my other channel when we start to build it more. But we do get confused, and it's to a point where someone will confide in us so much, you feel like you're part of the issue. You feel like you're a mediator. You're someone that is a place where people can just like unload. We got to be careful when we tell people you can call me anytime to vent, because that's exactly what that's exactly what they don't do. They don't vent. They unload the shit on you, right? And so you stuck between feeling how they feeling, praying as a person that's on the outside looking in, and lo and behold, it come to a point now you feeling down in the dumps because this person unloaded, right? So we need to learn how to use what they say to make sure you still are fed with wisdom, so you don't have to go through all of that. You know, I'm a huge person. I'm a huge advocate on learning through other people. My brother did all types of shit growing up, but my biggest thing is I did not want all them whoopings like how he got. So I just learned from what he did, what not to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get in trouble at school, you come home, you got to deal with your parents disciplining you. What you don't do is open up your bedroom window and run away to your best friend's house down the street. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a whole story within itself. Story times relatable to this will be on my other channel. But needless to say, you know, it comes to a point in time where it's just like you either going to break free from it or it's going to be a part of you. And then when you start to say things like, I don't even realize who I am anymore. Bitch, you let them unload all that shit to a point it forced your front door in. And of course it's going to be on your mind. Of course it's going to be a priority. The thing is though, what does it have to do with you? Is it to make you better? Or is it something to teach you about yourself? I mean, they both go hand in hand if you're trying to live right, you're trying to live well, and you're trying to live long. The thing that's going to cut your time short is what you decide or you let decide. It's going to come into your energy, into your vibe, into your aura, period. You know, just like sometimes people don't believe this or not, but you also got to be careful of who you let in your home. Because though they may be great guests, they a headache somewhere on the other side of town to somebody. Everybody got a cousin named Gay Neck and your ass is annoying to them. That's just all that's to it. And so when they leave, the energy that stays is the energy you don't know about. And that energy, you can't see it, but it's just as fluid as water. It's just as fluid as any fucking thing else in life that we do. But people don't believe this. It literally surveys your home. And wherever that energy is, you know what I'm saying, that isn't the brightest, that isn't the lighthouse, it's going to attack. It's going to find some way to weather in. This is why people say, you know, keep shit close knit so that way don't nothing come through. But still, when we're deciding to be open and be compassionate, we do sometimes get the short end of the stick. We're not careful about what we're letting in, what we're letting people unload. It's okay if you just want someone to be your friend. You don't want to be their therapist. It's absolutely fine. And it's just as fine for you to be like, I wish you all the well with that. You know, all good doings that you've done in the past, somewhere, somehow, some down the line, it's going to grant a blessing for you. So you hate the process because emotionally, we're not built to as people to hurt one another. Like, that's not what God intended. So for this to be a man-made action, emotion, you name it, for you to feel like this is totally understandable. The gag is though, this is still all this other person stuff. I mean, they can unload some details on you, but just like you go to the store and buy milk, get you a broom and sweep it off your front porch. You don't need it. You don't need it. A lot of times I go to my friend's house and I sage before I go. And I sage when I leave. That's not any shot to them. It's just like, I know what's lurking in the spiritual realm. And a lot of what's in the spiritual realm, it fucks us up as people. Because it's not that we don't know no better. It's just part of life. We're learning with life. And life is learning us. So it's the outcome I'm more concerned about with my tea talkers. Because guess what? If I came to you today and be like, oh my God, my cat, this, that, the other, you're going to look at me and be like, well, I hope all that gets sorted out soon. Because that's bum. You know? It's not for you to let that be something fester in your energy. Because it's still my issue. I still had to discipline him and tell him the right way to do things. Just like if it was a situation of, you know what, your friend went to the doctor, you're always around each other, you're always, you know, shoot the shit and do the same stuff, you know, y'all pretty much joined at the hip like best friends, like twins, you know, Tia Tamara, y'all do that all the time. But they go to the doctor and they say, well, look, you know what I'm saying, they say I got strep or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, hypothetically. Are you going to hang around that person while they got strep? While they back of their neck feel like sandpaper? You going to share a blunt or share a cup of juice with them? Hell no. You're going to remember at some point in time between that strep and the possibility of you catching it. You're gonna be like, you know what, all right, I'll see you in a couple days. You know what, I'm gonna give you a couple weeks, because I just want to be sure that shit is long gone from you before I come around. I text you, I'll video chat, but bitch, in the flesh, that's a hard no. You put yourself first. You're a priority. You know you got to protect your health. Not saying they didn't. Things happen. However, you got to make sure you know you are first. Because if you don't take care of you first, the reckoning happens. The tower moments happen. The body breaks down. Then the mental. Then you're emotionally crying because, you know, your body breaking down. You need to get up and you want the Lord to give you strength. Well, the Lord giving you a sign so you can use your strength and deal with it. All right? If you can't physically put yourself in that situation, it's an unload. They're unloading. No matter what they unload, you decide what you want to pick up. And you don't have to pick up nothing. I mean, you can leave the shit there. Let the wind, the elements of the world do what it do. It is what it is. But understand, you have choices. You have the ability to let in and let out whatever you choose. You just have to be strong enough and in control, and more than enough for you to understand outcomes of what you do. I would rather you put yourself first and just use what others are going through to help you be a better person. That's what all this shit is about. You're going to let stuff weigh you down, or you're going to let things help see your way up. You feel me? You got a friend that's out here, they love money. Every time you look, chitty chitty bang bang. I mean, they making it rain. CEO. If y'all know what wrestler I'm referring to with that, y'all all right with me. CEO. They got all these, all right. You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying? I got one for you. Pandemic, right? Pandemic happened. What happened? Oh, you got all these PPP loans. You got all these different loans out. And I mean, motherfuckers was tricking like, bitch, they were at Onyx. They were buying cars. You know, they were doing all types of shit. Buying houses. All types of shit. You know, most of us was using that money to make sure that we stayed afloat and we kept shit on. Priority, right? Priority. All right? Then, all of a sudden, motherfuckers is like, you ain't got no trucking company. You ain't got no damn employees either. How the hell you buy this Ferrari and you ain't got no business? But you got a business that needs a Ferrari? Something don't sound right. All these motherfuckers is going to prison. They doing fed time because that shit, I feel like, was a whole booby trap. It was to be able to catch the ones who are that weak with no control or lack of knowledge of having control, where they could easily gone out and got a 9-to-5 or did whatever and got this shit the right way, got a loan the right way, you know? So would that be a situation where we got to put ourselves first, or is that a situation where we're going to use the scraps of whatever lesson learned that you should have caught? We gonna use that to enrich ourselves to know that's a hard no. Ain't no way. As much as I don't like paying taxes, bitch, I'll take my chances with my freedom. But as far as me having to do all that, I mean, it's one thing to rob Peter to pay Paul, but bitch, you're robbing the federal government of funds you know you can't pay back. I mean, it's in the title. PPP loan. Not PPP grant. PPP loan. You got to still pay it back. How, you know, you fuck yourself up even more going to prison, having to give all that shit back, and you still got to pay restitution when you get out. And you don't know where your first job is going to come from. Let alone the next meal once you get out. Because let's be honest, they just throw your asses out and then they say, you know what, make use. Make use. I'm going to use that situation as a way of me knowing that, you know what, if I was to ever have an investor or a loan to first, I'm going to make sure all my shit line up. I'm going to make sure I have more than enough assets to cover whatever it is I need to cover, God forbid. And I'm damn sure not going to be sitting here asking for the max when I know damn well I like my life being that I live below my means. All of that extra shit that y'all trying to give me is just gonna fuck me up. So I might as well just go ahead and just do what I've been doing and take the scenic route. Cause you giving me all of this, if you raining so much money on me, I can't see who have eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that was. That enriched me to know better. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take your mess ups and I'm going to use that shit as compost. I think I talked about this last video about cow manure, compost, all that shit. I'm telling you, it helps the soil, helps the dirt. So if life and tribulations and situations like that is going to help me be a better me, by all means, I will compost that shit, recycle it, and use it to the benefit for me. But it's your detriment. You got strep, you sick, you got all types of illnesses and shit with you that can be contagious. No, I gotta put myself first. You know what I'm saying? We can talk through a cup and a string any day. I'll buy the shits. You like solo cups? That's fine with me too. What kind of shoestrings you like? I'll get Nike to make you feel better, but I'm putting myself first. You know? And when you find that when you put yourself first, it don't seem to click for other people, then you really got to see that, you know what, this person may very well just be compost for me to learn something. Got mad a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, got mad about a good year ago about something with somebody. And at that point, you know how you have two magnets and they're trying to go away from each other, they're trying to repel. You know that strength that's in the middle? That's me. And as much as I wanted to emotionally be upset, that other part of me was just like, you'll see. And I'm just like, damn, but I'm mad now. I don't want to see it now. No, you'll see. Next thing you know, that same person I call myself upset with, emotionally like hurt behind, right? Down the line, make it a year to date. He disrespectful to men, just like he was disrespectful to me. Now I think about that thing because it's just like, you know what, some people get so comfortable in they stink ass attitude and they stink ass mentality. They don't care who you are, male or female, they just disrespectful. Male or female, you will get fucked up. Okay, especially when you a young bird out here trying to do old dog things. Oh no, your time is coming. So told a friend of mine, I was like, you know what, he was popping shit like that to me. So you know what, the difference between you and me is you a male, so he can pop that shit on the phone, but it ain't nothing like you keeping that same energy. You feel me? So, you know, I'm thinking about that thing. And then the part of me that said, no, just wait, came back around and said, so what do you see? I see that's just how that motherfucker is. That's how that motherfucker is. He came from a barrel of apples. He ain't come from the tree, right? If your parents don't want to take ownership for shit that they do, they know they got a responsibility, but they don't want to take ownership for that shit, and they decide that they want to lie and cheat and steal and say ain't nobody gonna play me. You played yourself because you just showed yourself to be half of an adult. You're not even a child, you're an adolescent. That's how you act. Somewhere around that time frame in your head, something just bloop, shut the fuck down, and you woke up. Everyone's grown up, everyone has matured, people have gotten older, and you still on this adolescent type mentality. I'm not even hurt anymore about how this person's treated me. I'm more shocked about the audacity that this person has to be walking around with close to all their teeth, and yet, you know, you're a shell of a person. So anyone that's a shell, I mean, it's only but so many hits in life that motherfucker can take until their shell cracks. And then what? You just, all that just showed me you had nothing on the inside. You ain't fragile, you're empty. You know, ain't, in the words of my daddy, ain't nothing worse than an empty wagon. Ain't nothing worse than an empty fucking wagon. You know, and that's what he is. That's what it was. So for me to be like, you're a fool and you're delusional, and for me to go on by my business, I'm so happy I didn't invest too much time and energy into shit. You know, what I show emotionally is completely different from what I'm doing in my head. You know what I'm saying? It's like two separate people when I have to be two separate people. Part of me is going to see that lesson. Hence, don't worry about it. You see it down the line. Well, what the fuck? I want to see now. Okay? That's me putting that anger into a compartment and being like, I'm going to deal with it. But no, higher self said, no, consider it done. Consider it done. You'll see. So now I have. And literally, I'm telling you what I know. Sometimes it's great to hold off on giving apologies to people. Because half the time, if these people were really real, if they were really full and whole, how a being should be, there will be no air for a discussion like this. There will be no reason for a tea talk like this. Because you know why? Home training somewhere down the line, prayerfully, and just intellect of knowing how to behave will let you know, like, you treat people how you want to be treated. Now you're out here broke and can't keep shit. Well, that's what happens when you fuck with earth angels. Alright? Just like y'all can go and get a motherfucker in a brown suit to do a hit, we got a whole spiritual realm that you don't see to full capacity that's waiting on people like you, him, and every other fucker like him to do wrong so they can cash in, because I know I'm a good person, right? So with me keeping in mind that compartment of, you know what, you're a good person with good intentions, and as long as you, our friend even told me this, if you continue, shouts out to Asha, if you continue to put out good energy, it doesn't matter how they take it, as long as you putting out good energy, it's going to come back to you, you know? And I've been good. I've been eating good. I've been sleeping good. Me and Nalo been good, honey. Been good. Have not been upset, mad, haven't lost a thing. If anything, it's been gained more. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you do good, you'll look healthy. You won't look hard in the face. You know, you won't be looking all loose in the teeth. You know, you won't be feeling all like you're down low in the underground. You know, well, for every motherfucker like you, yeah, that's where you deserve to be. Because until you learn to use what you go through to help you be a better person, versus you feel like you have a vindictive necessity to be mean like that, you will always have odds and odds, you know? So this 4th of July, when you come around family and people and stuff and you ask how they doing, yeah, be nice, listen. It's up to you what you want to, you know, compartmentalize and have stay in your brain and on your mind, and what you want to have leave out the other side. You're entitled to that. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing well. Okay, good. You look healthy. You glowing. You all right. When they start talking about, oh, well, one of the wheels on my wagon fell off and my dog keep blinking at me too much and the stove got a funny odor coming from it every time it's on. When they start doing shit like that, you have every single right to, should get that checked out. You sure your dog ain't got dry eyes? Throw out some quick solutions and cut that doggone conversation short. Because the more they unload, the more they think you're concerned and you're invested. That's what I need to say. Invested in what they got going on. Remember when we were talking about them emotional investors? This is what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, like, everything, all the tea talks I got coming, they all gonna make sense. You feel me? So If you got to go back to the last one and the one before that, be my guest after this, you know. But needless to say, that's how you keep control of how you want to feel, you know. Learn and discern. I think that sums it up. Learn and discern. Speaking of which, that's one of my other channels. I think y'all should go on over there. You know what I'm saying? Hit that good old subscribe button. It's down below. It's called Learn and Discern Messages. By all means, go on down there, hit that button. All right. Outside of that, I think that's all I got to say. I feel better. It is what it is. I feel like I've been giving y'all I don't give a fuck look this whole entire video, and I mean, that's all I can say. Outside of that, I'm gonna be cool in this AC while everybody out there in this heat. For the ones who don't have AC, put y'all some dark. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I had first bought my house years ago, when I first moved in, right? I had bay windows. I had big picture windows, right? Because they had a lot of light coming through. And I used to go to work and I'd be like, man, I just bought that house. I'm new on the street. And, you know, people like to see what you got. And I used to work, you know, 2-3 jobs with school in between. So I was only home long enough to take care of the pet child. And then I was back out. So something told me one night, just go ahead and look through your old sheets. You know, we all had them old sheets, right? Maybe you use them when you go to the park. Use them like as a blanket to lay down on, shit like that. Well, I had a black bedding like fitting sheet that I didn't use anymore. So I was just going to use it for Nilo's, his little room, so he had somewhere to sit, lay on, whatever. I said, no, I get him something else, but I'm gonna see if this worked. How about I took that queen size black fitted sheet and put it over my entire picture window, the entire living room window. And when I tell you that shit was sweet, that shit was cool as fuck. It just, I don't know where it came from, but something just told me to try it, and it worked. So like a compost situation, right? Learn from what I did. Go find y'all a sheet, if you know what I'm saying, that fits y'all windows. For the ones who don't have AC, I get it, because I used to live in a couple of apartments like that. Go ahead and get you some fitted sheets that you no longer use, preferably a dark color so it can absorb the light. All right, put that over your windows. Go get y'all some of these small Arctic freezes. All right, shouts out to Tab. You know, she got 2 of those. We put some curtains over her shit and she was good to go. It was cooler in there than in the shade outside. Let that sink in. Compost moment. Go ahead and find you some sheets and shit that you no longer want to use, and use that to be able to curb some of all this heat and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And let me know if it worked for you. If it worked for you, great. I'm glad I helped. I'm glad I was able to help you learn something from what I had to figure out. You know, that's how it's supposed to go. Each one teach one. That's how compost work. Okay, each one teach one. Banana peels, all types of shit. Each one teach one. All right. Outside of that, I hope to see y'all soon. I just uploaded a video on Stella Bistro Foods page. So by all means, all that information is down below in my church announcements. And he on punishment, so y'all not gonna see him. I wish that motherfucker would jump in my lap right now after the shit he done pulled. He's very smart because his ass is nowhere in sight of me. So he be alright. I'll tell him that y'all was worrying about him. Or not. Y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. And until the next time, I hope y'all all stay cool, enjoy the food, and yeah, see y'all later.